being recorded now? Yes, I think it is being recorded. Excellent. Right, welcome fellow Toastmasters and guests. This meeting of online presenters has now begun. Guests, please note that in order to be a member of our club, you must be a current or a former active member of Toastmasters International and have completed at least 6 speeches from either the traditional or Pathways program. Or you have another options. You must have substantial, relevant presentation experience that you demonstrate in 3 to 5 minute speech delivered during one of our meetings. All requests for membership are subject to board approval. If you have not already done so, please change your panel to ensure it shows your name and role if you have one. Right-click and select Rename to do so. We have members and often guests from many countries throughout the world. Thus, as a professional organization, we ask that you please be aware of language or words usage that may be considered offensive or otherwise insensitive due to cultural differences. Please note that we will be recording this meeting. Your video audio contribution may be used for our club marketing purposes. Please mute your microphone when you're not speaking. Also, please avoid using chat during speakers' speeches. And the theme for today's meeting is gratitude. And please welcome our club president, Nick Lahani.
Thank you very much, Andre. Thank you for that. It gives me great pleasure to open up this meeting and introduce our Toastmaster of the Day. Just before I do that, I just want to mention, some of you may notice that we've got a few people in the audience who've got this amazing background, the VTM Con. And what it is the Virtual Toastmaster Conference, and online presenters and 5 other clubs have banded together and said, let's have our own conference. Just on December the 5th, on a Saturday, we're going to have 5 wonderful speakers. We're going to have 2 contests, and we're going to send lots of people all over the world to go and share the joy of being online. Now, I had to get my abacus out earlier on in the week because I was actually, it took 3 of us actually to count up the number of countries that these 6 clubs have got members in. And we have something in the region of nearly 220 plus members. And we have people, of those 220 plus members, they reside in 50 different countries around the world. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now, we need a little bit of help. We need, as online presenters, to create a 2-minute promo video. And we need somebody to take that on. So is that going to be you? Please let David or myself know in the private chat or drop me an email. Whichever way you want it, just have a go at it. Just ask. If you can actually contribute towards it as well, please let us know. There may be somebody else in the same boat and you can collaborate. That's the point. We work together. So that 2-minute video is going to be fabulous. I'm going to be creating a 1-minute video. We also want music and dance, like a YouTube video perhaps, from each of your countries that you belong to. So whichever country you reside in, you can actually send a link to me by email, and we will actually put it on and play that at the conference. The other things that we're looking for are people to help with the contest, role players, perhaps judges, as Lucas said earlier on, judges, ballot counters, timers, etc., etc. We need that little bit of assistance, and also Zoom masters, anybody who can manage a room, anybody who can work within the team. We're looking for intermediate and advanced Zoom masters. Time to step up, folks. It's going to be huge. It's going to be big. It doesn't mean you have to commit for the whole day. You can commit for a chunk of time. We'll work it out. We work in shifts. That's enough for that right now. We're going to move on with our Toastmaster of the Day. It gives me great pleasure to welcome for the first time at Online Presenters, making her Toastmasterly debut, Please welcome Toastmaster of the Day, Marianne Grady.
Good evening, online presenters and guests. I'm Marianne Grady, and I will be your Toastmaster. The Toastmaster is the MC of the meeting, so I will guide the first portion of the meeting. And for the guests, I will give you a little preview of what the format of the meeting is like. The first section of the meeting is our prepared speakers. Tonight we have 3 terrific speakers, so you will get a treat tonight. Next, we have where we practice our extemporaneous speaking skills, and our table topics master will ask a question and somebody will respond. She will call upon you and you have 1 to 2 minutes to give your response. And the final portion of our meeting is devoted to feedback. Feedback is a gift and we like to give gifts here. So for this, we will have Andrei Smolenko, who's our Sergeant at Arms, lead this section as the general evaluator. He'll have evaluators for the prepared speakers, and then after that there will be reporters. Now, Vince Lombardi once said, individual commitment to a group effort, that's what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, and a civilization work. And we have a lot of individuals who are committed to our group effort of getting this meeting moving tonight. And I would like to thank all of them and share their names with you and let them tell you what they're going to be doing tonight in about a minute. First up, we have our timer, Mary Ruth Dillon. Please unmute yourself and tell us about your role this evening.
Yes, Madam Toastmaster. I will be keeping time of various segments in the meeting. When you, as a speaker, when you meet your minimum time, you will see the green background. When you reach midpoint, you will see yellow. And when you reach the end, you will see red. You have 30 seconds after the red to close it up.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have our counter, Deborah Carr.
Hi, everyone. As the eye counter tonight, I am going to be watching and listening close for filler words and the like I do often. But at the end of, when I go to give my evaluation, I will not be pointing at fingers at people, and I also don't count anything under 3. So if you have any questions, and please just get with me afterwards, but I'll give you the total because I hope it's very low. I'll check in later.
Welcome our grammarian, Patricia O'Reilly.
Good evening, Madam Toastmaster. So tonight I'm going to be all ears because I'm going to be listening for lovely descriptive phrases, listening for good and maybe the odd bad use of grammar, and then also listening for the use of the word for the day, which I understand is thanks or Thanksgiving. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Next up, we have our watcher. He's going to have his eyes on you, Mafisar Rahman.
Madam Toastmaster, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're located. I am watching all of you, and I want to make sure that you are presenting yourself with the best behavior and with the best lighting and best background and with a big smile that not only encourages our speakers and table topic today. I want to encourage every one of you. So definitely, I want you to encourage with having the best behavior here. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Okay, and someone's keeping their eye on the chat box, and that would be our chat monitor, Graham Cairns.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Yes, it's a role that's unique to this club. I haven't actually seen it in any other club, but it's one that you might like to consider in your online clubs. My role is to keep an eye on the chat to make sure that anything that the Toastmaster should be made aware of, my role is to make sure that he or she is, but also to take note of some of the observations that you might make between speeches. Please don't chat during people's speeches. That's a bit rude, but I will be taking note of all those sorts of things.
Our final reporter of the day is the vote counter, Gina Francois.
Yes, Madam Toastmaster. My role tonight is to collect the votes and tally them up for the winners at the end of the meeting. And in the chat, you'll be able to vote for the best speaker, best evaluator, and best table topics. And everyone is encouraged to vote. There are no membership criteria or experience for voting. So back to you, Mrs. Toastmaster.
Thank you, team. And we're going to move right into the speeches because we are a couple minutes behind schedule. So our first speaker of the day is Elizanne Warren Russell. Her speech is Reaching Your Dreams. It's in the Leadership Development Path, Level 1, Mastering Fundamentals, Evaluation and Feedback, first speech. She's going to give a speech tonight, get feedback, and then deliver either the same speech or another speech incorporating the feedback she receives tonight. And the same description applies to our next speaker. Have you ever had a dream to do something and no matter what, that dream would not go away? Elizanne Warren Russell will be sharing her story as she pursues her dream. Please welcome Elizanne Warren Russell, Reaching Your Dreams.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Have you ever had a dream that is gnawing at you and for some reason you can't get rid of it? That was my experience. And one day, as I was assisting a professor in writing her notes for a syllabus and her lesson plan, I came across the book that she was teaching on. It is The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson. In this book, there was so many nuggets that I took away in order to make my dream come true. The book is about a young man by the name of Ordinary. Sounds familiar? Ordinary found a feather one day, and the feather is representative of his dream. So he ran quickly and told his friend, "Look at what I found, look at what I found." However, his friend was like, "Nah, I found one day. But everybody keep telling me, don't go after that. It's not worth it." So Ordinary got a little discouraged. He went to his father and shared his story as well. His father said, "You know what? I found a dream one day, but I put it away just waiting for the right time to come. And that time never came. The feather died, and so did my dream." He got a little bit disturbed, but something kept gnawing at him to go after his dream. So he forgot about everything everybody told him, and he began preparing to go after his dream. One day, Ordinary got to where he needed to be. And he said, "You know what? I'm leaving my job. I'm leaving everything behind, and I'm going forward." So he packed his bag, said bye to his family, and started going on his way. He met up with someone who said to him, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm going after my dream." Isn't that like us? We're here at Toastmasters, and we're here trying to learn how to become better Toastmasters, better presenters, better speakers. But somewhere in the background, there may be someone who's telling you, "You can't do it. Why are you bothering yourself every Monday night or whichever night you go to your Toastmasters meeting? Why are you bothering yourself with all of that? You can just do it on your own." But we know that in order to reach our dreams, that we have to go the extra mile. So Ordinary learned something that was important. He learned one thing, that there were people that are bullies. They're called border bullies in the story. And these bullies would tell him all the negative things. But then there was a little voice in the background, which was a faithful voice who said, "Wisdom, knowledge, strength, all these things are the tools that you need to go forward." And he grasped after these things and went for his goals. How many of us had to go after our goals by tapping ourselves in the head and say, "Don't listen to that one," patting ourselves on the back and said, "You did a good job this time"? How many of us had to do that because of so many obstacles? For me, going after my dream meant leaving a job and going to school full time to get my college degree. I gained my associate, then my bachelor's, and recently my master's. Another thing that I wanted to do was to start a nonprofit organization, which I did. And guess what? The border bullies came in and ripped my dream from me. But the dream is not dead. As long as I hold on to the dream can never be dead. So at the end of this month, by the beginning of next month, I'll be relaunching a new version of my podcast entitled Parent to Parent Talk. How many of us had to relaunch? How many of you had to take a step back and then move forward again? Reaching your dream can sometimes be challenging. It can sometimes be a little depressing, and sometimes it can be right out unattainable. However, if you as an individual put your feet one foot in front of the other and decide, I'm not going to let anyone or anything keep me from reaching my goal, then the world is your oyster. Toastmasters is a great way to reach your goals. And I know all of us are here in order to get to the next level. Thank you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you for that wonderful speech, Elizanne. And we are all here to help you on that journey and get to your dream. Our next speaker of the night is Angela Heath. Giving Her Flowers Now. This is from the Visionary Communications Path, Level 1. Mastering Fundamentals, Evaluation and Feedback, First Speech, same as before. Why wait until somebody is no longer with us to provide flowers and say kind words and express pure appreciation? Well, no more. I am giving her flowers now. Welcome, Angela Heath, Giving Her Flowers Now.
Flowers. Who doesn't love flowers? They're beautiful, they're vibrant, they smell almost like heaven. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, honored guest, and especially my sister, Carolyn Slade. I'm giving her flowers now. You know, and I look at these flowers and I wonder, are these good enough? Because I think about the three things that came to my mind when I thought it was time for me as the selfish baby sister to give away some flowers. I thought, is this gonna be good enough? You know, the first thing I thought about her is she's so thoughtful. She's always thinking of me. This isn't good enough for her. No way. It's not. Maybe these. I'm not sure. Because the second thing I thought about her, she's so encouraging through the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. She's always saying, you can do it. Go for it. Never stop. What a sister. Are these flowers expressive? Are they beautiful enough? I'm not sure. Do they communicate to you how much I love her and appreciate her? I'm just not sure. But I want to give her flowers. I want to give her beautiful flowers. I want her to know how much she's appreciated. But I don't think these are the right ones. No, 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 I don't think so. I think she needs something more beautiful. Something like this. I love these flowers because they're all shades of purple. And that's my favorite color. It's not her favorite color. I hate to admit it. I don't even know her favorite color. Because all of my life, I've been so busy being the spoiled little sister, I never bothered to ask. So are these flowers good enough? Are these flowers good enough for the third thing I thought about? She's my best friend. She's my sister friend. She's the one that I stay up wee hours of the morning chatting and laughing. And then I grumble in the morning, but this isn't even enough. They're beautiful, but it's simply not enough. You know what? I should have went big. I should have went big. I should have filled this whole room with flowers. Maybe then she would understand how much I love her. Maybe then all of the times when I took her for granted would just fade away. But these flowers, they're not vibrant enough. They're not filled with enough beauty to explain someone who thinks of you, someone who encourages you, someone who is your friend. I don't know if these flowers are good enough. What are they saying to her heart? Are they expressing what's in my heart? I'm just not sure. Maybe these. You think these are good enough? I just don't know. But I'm getting this strange feeling, fellow Toastmasters. As I look in your eyes, I'm getting the feeling that you need to give someone flowers also this day. Because you also have someone in your life who's been so kind, who's been so good, so supportive. And some of you have been like me, a spoiled little sister. And so it's time for you, it's time for me to give people their flowers now. In our country, we spend hundreds of dollars when someone is gone, giving them flowers. But while they're here, all too often, we neglect to say thank you, to say I love you, to say I appreciate you. But those days are over for me. Those days are over for me because today marks the day that I give her these virtual flowers. And today marks the day that I gave her real flowers that I sent to her house by a special courier to surprise her because she's a great sister and I love her so much. And I challenge you, Toastmasters. This is one time I challenge you to be like me. Get some flowers today for someone that you love. Madam Toastmaster, back to you.
I can smell them from here. Thank you, Angela. Our final speaker of the evening is Tricia Smith. Times When I Was a Protege. This project is from Presentation Mastery Path, Level 2, Learning Your Style, Understanding Your Communication Style. Mentoring benefits everyone. Mentors gain skills, mentees and proteges develop talent. Connecting with people and members from other cultures in different parts of the world gives everyone a chance to learn new methods, skills, and gain a better understanding of the world. Please welcome Tricia Smith with her speech, Times When I Was a Protege.
Hello, I'm going to talk about not one time I was a mentee protege, but 3 times. Let me start with a quote by Steven Spielberg. There's a delicate balance between creating someone in your own image and letting them create themselves. So Toastmasters has a great history of providing mentoring experiences. People with more experience provide mentoring based on their wisdom, knowledge, and experience that they share with new members. Mentors share that knowledge, proteges build a foundation and build their skills and talents and meet their goals. So mentoring can benefit both mentors and mentees or proteges. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. I'm Tricia Smith, and I am going to talk about my experiences. I'm going to start by talking about the importance of mentoring, my experience as a protege, and how it can benefit, how mentoring can benefit everyone. So let me start by explaining how similar coaching is to mentoring. I've been a coach, I've been a mentor, and a mentee. A coach focuses on short term. So we all start with learning something. We have training to learn a specific skill. Coaches help to reinforce that learning in the short term, very focused on that one skill growth. Whereas mentors are long-term focused. They help their proteges and mentees to achieve their own personal goals. So they are a support person. They share their wisdom, knowledge, and experience, but it's mutually give and take. So why is mentoring important? Basically, if we look at our group here, online presenters, there's 3 groups that we represent. We have leaders, we have presenters, and we have socializers. And maybe you like to do all 3 of those. So real quickly, let's see if you could raise your hand, please, if you got into Toastmasters to gain leadership skills. Thank you. And raise your hand if you got into Toastmasters to improve your communication or presenting skills. Raise your hand if you got into Toastmasters to socialize and network. Or all 3. All right, thank you. Raise your hand if you have been a mentor outside of Toastmasters or within Toastmasters. Keep your hands raised if you've been a mentor within Toastmasters. Thank you and kudos. Lastly, raise your hand if you've had experience as a mentee or protege outside of Toastmasters or within Toastmasters. Keep your hands raised if you've been a mentee protege within Toastmasters. Thank you. So we've all had similar experiences. So my experiences as a protege, I'm going to talk about 3 of them. One is current with online presenters, excellent experience with a very experienced Toastmaster who has been a part of Toastmasters for years, is very expert, leader, has provided me with lots of support and resources and personalized feedback using different types of virtual communication. Now, going backward with online teaching experience, I also had a virtual mentor. Very positive experience, good resources, good support system. So I have nothing good but good to say about those 2 experiences. However, mentoring and mentee experiences can also be negative, and that was one of my first experiences as an on-site instructor with a teacher from 20 years ago, where they didn't have all the virtual platforms. That teacher, who is my mentor, had the same number of years of experience that I did in 3 fields. She had experience in 1 field. I don't know if that was why, but she was not a good communicator to me. She did not provide me with resources, support. She wasn't available. So she was the example of what a mentor shouldn't be. So, however, my focus is on focusing on the positive side of mentoring, and Toastmasters has that positive side of mentoring. So I recommend it. So lastly, mentoring can benefit everyone. We all have experience with that. Mentors and protege benefit mutually. They learn different views, perspectives, ways of thinking. They gain self-awareness. Mentors gain experience and mentees develop talent. And with our experience with online presenters, we have opportunity to meet people from all over the world from different cultures. So we can learn new ideas, new perspectives, methods, skills, and gain a better understanding of the world. So as we grow and we learn and we support each other, we can help to support each one of us achieving our own personal goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tricia. I think we all love to mentor and be mentored in this club because we have people at all the different levels. Timer, have all the speakers within time?
Yes, Madam Toastmaster.
Can you please post their times?
I will do that.
And now it's time to vote for your favorite speaker of the night. So we had number 1, Elizanne Warren Russell, Reaching Your Dreams. 2, Angela Heath, Giving Her Flowers. And 3, Tricia Smith, Times When I Was a Protege. Please vote by sending your private message in the chat to Gina Francois. And now we are going to move on to one of my favorite parts of the meeting, which is our table topic session. And this is where we practice our extemporaneous speaking. And I will turn it right over to Asil Basanova right now. Asil.
Thank you, Mariana. So I have time until 8:30, I believe, and table topic session where speakers can practice their thinking on their feet for 1 to 2 minutes. And I'll first ask members with no roles and then I guess. My first questions will go to David. David, you've been a member since 2017. What are you grateful for in this club?
I suppose I'd have to say, Madam Table Topics Master, that I am grateful for everybody who's joined since 2017, because somewhere in there was some turnover too. Some of the people who joined, who were the initial charter members, didn't necessarily stick around. But over time, the club has snowballed. The membership has snowballed. It has grown. It has skyrocketed. And so we are now, last time I checked, we were the largest all online club. And so that gives us some bragging rights, doesn't it? It gives us some bragging rights. So I'm grateful for all of you who have joined over the last couple of years. And I'm grateful for everybody who has joined early and stuck around. I see some of those faces here too. People like Graham, who signed up when this was just an idea, when we didn't really have anything rolling at all. We got together a bunch of people and we brainstormed what this club could be. And then we made it happen. And then people came along after us and made bigger and better and more fabulous things happen, such as VTM Con December 5th. Did we mention VTM Con on December 5th? Maybe you should sign up for VTM Con on December 5th. You should also like the Facebook page for VTM Con on December 5th, which is facebook.com/VTMCon. So I have a lot to be grateful for, and I'll be grateful for those of you who go out and like all those things and share all these things after this session. So to make me even more grateful, find your way to the like button, find your way to the share button, and add a note about what a fabulous event this is going to be and how online presenters being part of it, of course, makes it all the more fabulous. Thank you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, David. And we are grateful to you that you are taking care of us. Thank you. My next question will go to Lou. What do you think about this sentence? My socks may not match, but my feet are always warm.
Thank you, Madam Topics Master. Interestingly, you probably were reading my mind at one point during one of our meetings because I actually was wearing socks that didn't match. You see, I'm a little colorblind, especially when it comes to like navy and black, and maybe that is common with a lot of people. But instead of my doing something about that and turning on the light and actually looking at the socks and pairing them up properly, I'm like, forget that. Let me just grab a couple. It could be worse. Actually, one time I think I grabbed a plaid sock and a regular sock and wore those. Fortunately, this was at a time much earlier in the fashion trend industry when the pants that kind of came about 5 inches off the ground wasn't a thing. So my pants actually touched my shoes and I was able to hide my socks. Of course, when I sat down, then my pants would raise a little bit. So I had to kind of stretch my legs out under the desk so nobody could see my socks. But then somebody actually spotted them. And I said, well, I'm starting a new fashion trend. I'm actually going for the opposite or the non-matching sock look. And I have another pair like it at home. So it's, you know, when you buy one, you get one free. My feet are actually always cold. I may have a circulation problem, I'm not sure. So to help with that, I actually have jammies with footsies in them. Yes, they do make them in my size, as I'm sure they probably making them in a lot of different sizes, but I do get a lot to pick from. That's what I was actually a little surprised with. I'm like, wow, I didn't think they would make such a variety of footsie jammies for adults. I actually have to go online at the Toastmasters store to see if they have some Toastmaster footsie jammies, because that would be something that I would like. And if any of you want to get me something for Christmas, you have an idea. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you. So my next question will go to Antoinette. What's a simple pleasure that you are grateful for, Antoinette?
Table Topics Master, could you please repeat that question?
What is a simple pleasure that you are grateful for?
Thank you to the Topics Master. The simple thing that I am very much grateful for is just having peace. Being at peace with myself, being at peace with my family members, being at peace with my co-workers. I believe that if you don't have peace, your life will be most miserable. Your life will be one of, should I say, a state of confusion, a state of conflict. And after a while, you're not even sure how your life will end up, or how your life is progressing, or how your life is going, because you'll be all over the place. And I love being at peace. I seek peace in everything I do. At work, when there's a state of conflict, I always try to be the mediator, to bring a sense of peace, bring a sense of calmness within my environment. As a matter of fact, any one of my coworkers will come to me and they say, oh gosh, Antoinette, my manager this and my supervisor this. I said, take it easy, take it down. Think of what you want to achieve. And the ultimate goal is for you to be at peace, not only within your environment, but with yourself. And I'm very grateful that I'm always trying to be at peace, and that is how I live my life. P-E-A-C-E, not P-I-E-C-E. Back to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Antoinette. Yes, it's very important to have peace and harmony in your life. Jimmy, we're so happy to see you today. We missed you. My question to you, what's something that you are looking forward to in the future?
What am I looking forward to in the future? Well, right now I belong to 4 clubs. One of them I spent a whole year building up from 14 members to 27, and we gained 2 more members last night. One of the things I'm looking forward to is a second year of that club becoming President's Distinguished. Another thing I'm looking forward to is completing my path number 4 and 5 I've just started my 6th, so I'm usually working on 2 or 3 paths simultaneously. And I'm going to strive for my 4th DTM also, which may not happen this spring, but it could. I'm very close to being able to complete my next 2 paths, which is number 3 and 4, by the spring. Hopefully, our district conferences will be back to in person. And I'm hoping to be as successful as an area director this year, although this year is going to be tough for all area directors. Clubs are struggling with memberships, and even districts are losing clubs. So I've got a lot of things I'm looking forward to this year. Now, just going to keep my fingers crossed. Thank you.
Well, good luck, Jimmy. My next question will go to our dear guest, Lillian. What makes you smile or laugh? What makes you smile or laugh? Lillian?
Thank you, Madam Table Topics, fellow Toastmasters, and our guests. What makes me smile? I'm naturally, my family tells me I'm naturally a happy person. I'm always smiling. It's a good way to relieve stress when I'm stressed out about something. I just open my mouth and show my teeth. I feel better instantly. So I don't look for specific things to make me smile. I just decide to smile over anything and nothing. And that seems to help me personally. So I do it more. I spread the smiles, and most of the times I get the smiles back. So nothing specific makes me smile. I just choose to smile, and it helps me, myself, and it seems to be contagious to people around me. Thank you, Madam Table Topics.
Thank you so much, Lillian. Love your response. My next question will go to another smiley person, Sony. What do you think about this statement? Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. Sony.
Life begins at the end of your comfort zone. I think, Madam Table Master, this is my first time, and putting me in the limelight isn't always the best thing. That in itself is pushing me out of my comfort zone. So yes, my comfort zone, I believe that when you are out of your comfort zone, it is then that you start to learn to grow. It is then that you push yourself to the extreme that and makes you do things that you don't believe that you can. So that increases a lot of confidence as well. But of course, it does take time, because at the moment I am pushing myself out of the comfort zone, speaking in front of all of you. My face is feeling all flushed and I'm starting to sweat, and it's quite a state of discomfort. But yes, I believe that that is the only way to gain some confidence and to strive to do your best in what you want to do. So getting out of the comfort zone is not really comfortable, but that's the only way to go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sonia. You did well. You are a brave guest today. Thank you for coming. So I think I'm done with my table topic session, and I'm grateful to you all. Seeing you today makes me very happy. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster of the Day, Marianne.
Thank you so much, Asil. That was a wonderful segment tonight. Now, tonight is actually a special night. We have a new member induction. So this is not a standard part of our meeting. We do it sometimes. Please welcome our Vice President of Membership, Lou Brown, and let him introduce us to our newest member.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As Marianne mentioned, as the Vice President of Membership, it is my job to reach out to folks who would like to join our club, to welcome new members who have joined our club, and I am very happy to do a new member induction this evening. Fellow Toastmasters and honored guests, on behalf of Online Presenters Toastmasters, it is my duty and privilege to induct Natasha Van Ellison into our club. This is an important occasion, both for Natasha and for our club. As experienced speakers and Toastmasters, this individual will enrich us as we strive to enrich her in a spirit of sharing and enjoyment. Together, we expand our effectiveness as dynamic leaders, presenters, and communicators. Natasha, please wait until I call on you to affirm your commitment to the Toastmasters promise. Whoops, I should trigger my slideshow, shouldn't I? There we go. Whoops, and now I have to untrigger it to get back to something else. Here we go. Okay, in the presence of online fellow presenters, do you pledge to attend meetings regularly and prepare for each assignment, to actively participate in club activities, to evaluate others in a positive, constructive manner, to build open, friendly relationships with our fellow members, and to bring other new members into the club so that they can gain the benefits of Toastmasters? Natasha, please unmute and say I do.
I do.
Wonderful. To the current members of Online Presenters, I remind you of your pledge to support Natasha in her quest for self-development, to provide her with positive, helpful evaluations, to maintain a friendly, supportive environment, and to make her Online Presenters Toastmaster membership a rewarding and fulfilling experience. Congratulations, Natasha, and welcome to Online Presenters. Attendees, feel free to unmute and welcome Natasha to our club.
Hey, welcome, Natasha.
Welcome.
Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you.
Welcome, Natasha. So happy to have you join us. Now we are moving on to the evaluation portion of the meeting, and that will be handled by our Sergeant at Arms, Andre Smolenko. Please put your hands together for Andre.
Hey, well, thank you very much, Marianne. Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the day. And I'm a general evaluator. Some people say the person most fearsome in the club, because my job is evaluate everything. And I start with introducing the evaluators. We have 3 great evaluators today who will be giving feedback to the great 3 speakers. Then I'm moving on to having a bit of chat with all those helpers without whose our meeting will not run smoothly. And then the most exciting bit, I'll probably give my evaluation to everything that has not been evaluated. Oh, we'll love evaluation in our club. Right, let's start. I feel great pleasure to introduce our first evaluator, is Rosanna Duncanson, who will be giving her feedback to speaker number 1, Elizanne Warren Russell. Rosanna Duncanson, welcome.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. I am so happy today to evaluate Elizanne Warren Russell on her speech, Reaching Your Dreams. You see, your background had me feeling like it was story time, very peaceful and very serene. And you took us on a journey with your story. You had a wonderful story that talked to us about ordinary and getting to the end of the road of accomplishing our dreams. You share with us that you won't give up on your dreams and you will not let anyone get in the way of your dreams. You had a great speaking voice. Vocal variety was there. You had a background that you shared with us that gave us a snip of the book that you were referring to, allowing us to have a visual of what you were talking about. And you also had great gestures when you pat yourself on the back and you pat yourself on the head, letting us be able to identify with what you were saying with your actions. What I would have liked to see more of was vocal variety, though. As you told your story, it would have been nice to hear your voice change as you talked about disappointment and kind of lower your voice about disappointment. And then with excitement, hear more about the excitement and how things went well. And so make those changes so that we can truly appreciate and feel your story better. The other thing too is hand gestures. I'll be cautious of using our hands as we talk, very intentional with patting the back, but be mindful of using it when they're not really as intentional. But all in all, great presentation. And I'm thankful that you shared your story with us as we work to reach our dreams. Thank you, Elizanne. General Evaluator, back to you.
Thank you very much, Rosanna. I need to remind all the guests and speakers and participants today that after the evaluators given their reports, you will get a chance to vote for the best evaluator. So please keep your eyes open and peeled and your ears listening as well. That's very important to pick your favorite. And we moving on to the second evaluator for the day is Michael Alexander, evaluating speaker number 2, Angela Heath. Michael Alexander.
Thank you. And Angela, your speech accomplished what you set out to do. And that's very important. You wanted to talk to us about gratitude, which was the subject of the day. How wonderfully appropriate. But more importantly, you talked to us about your feelings towards your sister. Now, in Toastmasters evaluations, we get caught up in what was the subject, what was the format, what was all the technicals. And that's a mistake, because the most important part of any speech is, does it accomplish what you set out to do? Yours did. I didn't just watch you speak. I watched Carolyn. And I watched Carolyn's reaction, her shock, her appreciation. You set out to make her feel good and appreciated, and you accomplished that. And whatever else I say or whatever else I suggest, that is the real measure of your speech. Now, I liked the fact that you stood up. I liked the fact that you had a good set of visuals. And I liked the way you developed. I thought, however, the original theme, don't wait. Don't wait. Very, very important theme. And your title gave us that. But you started with it and then you kind of lost it. And you brought it back, but I kind of felt like you'd met too much distance between the two. You spent a lot of time talking about flowers and the beauty of the flowers and what was right. And I didn't think it necessarily brought you exactly where you wanted to go in terms of your sister, but it did show a lot of sensitivity, and that was great. The energy was nice and it was high. I felt, however, a little bit of, now for this speech, it would be almost mock sadness at your failure. A little bit of, but are these the right flowers? Not, are these the right flowers? Because that wouldn't have kept the level up. But that little bit of fake would have helped just give us a bit of variation that your high-powered approach was a little bit much on. Beautiful, however, nice visuals, nice talk about caring, nice talk about the sensitivity and all of the things, the kudos you gave Carolyn. They were wonderful. But I will not stop from saying again, this speech had a purpose, and that was to make Carolyn feel good. And you accomplished that. And there is no greater compliment I can give your speech than to say you accomplished what you set out to do. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Alexandra. I could feel quite emotional after your feedback. Thank you. It was really powerful. Next, we have evaluator number 3. Evaluator number 3 is Andrew Byrne, and Andrew Byrne will be giving his feedback to speaker 3, Tricia Smith. Welcome, Andrew Byrne.
Thank you much, Mr. Journal Evaluator. I am grateful to be able to evaluate this speech by Tricia. And she is speaking on the topic of the presentation mastery path and talking about mentoring as she experienced it as a protege. Your speech, Trish, was well organized. You used the word of the day, which was gratitude and thank you. You clarified the difference between being a coach and a mentor and what a protege was. There was a lot of definitions to get out of the way, but your voice was good in pitch, volume, pausing, and dynamic range. You covered the requirements of the project, which was to share a personal experience as a protege. Things that you might consider in working on. The mentoring and protege roles are very complex. In fact, they even have advanced degrees on coaching and mentoring. You could have started off at the very beginning to just get all that stuff out of the way and saying, here are a few definitions I want to put out for you to all think about. And then you could concentrate on the context and the structure of your speech. I'm going to get through that and then share my experiences in that context. A visual diagram could also enhance the presentation. Part of that might be examples that you could use. If you can think of who is known as a wonderful coach, who is known as a wonderful mentor. You might have, Coach Schuler as a picture, and then have 4 squares and have other people that have been great mentors or proteges, and then go into the differences between them. To challenge yourself, think about other ways that you presented this topic that explains exactly how you were doing in this structure. I think that you were great in terms of the overall context, the interaction that you have with your audience, not only with your contact with the camera, but asking questions and asking people to raise their hand. You got people to participate and, on the very least, exercise during your speech. And therefore, they were engaged in thinking, get the blood running. So I enjoyed it very much, Trish. I look forward to further stories that you might have, and I have a better sense of your protege versus mentor. We all want to hear specifically how the protege was affected by the mentor. Didn't get enough of that, but I'm sure in further speeches I can hear more. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. I think it's an art of itself, the evaluation, because you need to deliver 2 to 3 minute speech based on 5 to 7 minute speech in short and brief, give recommendation. And this is what Toastmasters are really, really good at, as our 3 evaluators of the meeting today demonstrated successfully. So our guests, please watch this space. If you're still thinking of joining, you need to join now to get your skills up to the good quality evaluation. And next part of the evening, to me to ask our timer for the speakers, evaluators reports. Madam Timer, are all the evaluators in time? And if yes, please say so.
Evaluator 2 and 3 were in time. Evaluator 1 was not.
Right, I see. Well, sometimes it happens. So then please post your timer reports in the chat box. Then so all the guests and members get a chance to vote for your favorite evaluator. And in order to do so, please send a little message through the chat to our vote counter is Jeanette Francois. Send your vote to Jeanette. Thank you. We'll give it 1 minute to do, and all the best of luck to our two participating in the competition evaluators. As we moving along and trying to keep the meeting in time and on time, I'm going to ask our helpers, without whose this meeting would be unimaginably possible. So those people who helped us today to organize and run the meeting smoothly, please, before you speak, remember, try to keep your speech short and to the point, and you have 1 minute each. And I would like to start with giving the space and the stage to our grammarian, Patricia O'Reilly. Patricia, go ahead.
Mr. General Evaluator, yes, well, my ears certainly were busy tonight as I listened, and I shall speak quickly in order to get through this in a minute. Thanksgiving, gratitude. Well, certainly almost every speaker tonight used gratitude or thanks or Thanksgiving at some stage. I don't know, Thanksgiving probably wasn't used, but definitely gratitude and thanks. We had some lovely descriptive phrases. Elizanne, I loved that idea that a dream is gnawing at you. I thought that was a wonderful expression. And also I liked that the world is your oyster. Angela, I loved the way you described the flowers. You had vibrant flowers, virtual flowers, and real flowers. I liked David Carr when he replied to his topic and he said the membership had skyrocketed. It's a great way to describe boom in membership. And of course, who can bypass Lou's jammies with the footsies? Wow, can't wait to get some. I don't think we have them here in Ireland. I'll have to go and see if I can get some. You'll have to send me some. And also I liked Lillian, who talked about spreading smiles. Oh, isn't that wonderful, spreading smiles? And Lou, again, you mentioned about expanding our effectiveness as presenters. And I thought that was a lovely phrase. And Andrew, you, in your evaluation, you said engaged in thinking and got the blood running. So that's it from me. Back to our general evaluator, Andre.
Thank you very much, Patricia. That was insightful. Next helper of the evening is our watcher, Mahfuzar Rahman. Mahfuzar, is all yours.
Right, Mr. General Evaluator. So my role was to deal with some of how you're presenting yourself. So I'd like to point out a couple lightings, and these are very, very easy to fix. You can go to Walmart or even Amazon. You can get a little light to put yourself, focus yourself. So there are a couple folks I'd like to, maybe I'll just send you a chat. Maybe you can take that as an attention. But I do have the best framing and couple backgrounds that really was positive. And the best background goes to Mr. Gratitude. Absolutely, and the best framing I was looking into, you guys really put into yourself in the middle today. And I was not looking into who's going side, who's going, but I couldn't find one. But again, best framing and the visual, Angela Heath, loved it how you moved yourself up. And absolutely, none other than the best smile. And that was, I guess, we had pretty steep competition. Lillian Monari and Natasha Vanny. So kudos to both of you. I was watching you, both of you, how you were smiling. Back to you, Mr. Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Mahfuzar. And just would like to praise our timer, Mary Ruth, for showing the time. So if you still have a role and you're going to tell us a little bit more about what you found today, please pay attention to the timer. Her background screens is green and it's then yellow and it's red. Well, thank you very much, Madam Timer. The next helper I would like to invite to the stage is the Arkansas Deborah Carr. Arkansas Deborah Carr, all yours.
Well, this was an easy night for me, but the sad thing is the ink in my pen went dry because I didn't have to use my pen at all. To be honest, I only heard two very soft ahs. The filler words went there, and this was really cool tonight, and because my ears were sharpened, but my pen went dry. So that's the best thing. Nobody was sewing a lot. Nobody was like I do. And the filler words were just gone. It's great. So great group tonight. Thank you.
Well, brilliant, Paul. Thank you very much, Madam Alcanza. Brief and to the point, and you can rest your pen now, I suppose. And the next helper of the evening is the important, very important person that online presenters are really, really proud of, because people from some other clubs, they admire our chat monitors. Not everyone has got them. We have, because we are an advanced club. Our chat monitor, Graham Cairns. Take it away.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. And just before I begin, a reminder that you can save the chat by clicking on the three dots at the bottom of the chat box. Bottom right, next to the word file, three dots, click it, and you can save the chat. And you should save the chat because there are some links in the chat to the VTM conference. They're quite useful. Now, some of the things that came up in the chat today include the visions of Lou in a onesie jammy, which sparked calls for a VTM jammy set, and also for a footsie kilt. I'm not entirely sure how that would work, but there was lots of encouragement for our speakers such as Antoinette and Lily, and especially lots of encouragement for our first time topics and first time ever speaker at a Toastmasters meeting, Sony. Well done. There was a pithy observation from Michael, by the way, in the chat. A compliment held in secret has no value. There's a lesson that we can all take away. Congratulations to the timer for putting the times in the chat. If I may make a suggestion next time you're doing the chat or whenever anybody is doing the chat, as soon as a participant has finished, put their time into the chat then. That allows the evaluator to make a comment on it if they need to. But congratulations to all of the members for not chatting while the speakers were speaking. That shows that you're not being rude. And just a reminder, you can save the chat by clicking on the three dots in the chat box at the bottom right. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Graham. You know, what insightful feedback. Right, now we move into the really, really, really exciting part of the evening. And that part is not my general evaluator's report. No, don't worry. I save it for later. We have the results of the votes. And I'm going to pass the stage on to our vote counter, Jeanette Francois. Jeanette, who is going to announce the winners of Table Topics contest, the winners of the best speaker of the day, and the winner of the best evaluator of the day. Madam Vote Counter, all yours.
Yes, Mr. General Evaluator. We had a wonderful evening tonight. The speeches were wonderful, the table topics were fantastic, and the evaluators were extraordinary. So tonight, I would like all of you to start the drum roll for the best speaker. The best speaker is Elizanne Warren Russell. And for the best table topics, Sony Vazandani. And for best evaluator, it's Dr. Michael Alexander. So very, very good tonight. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Jeanette. I think what a great team. What a great team of like-minded people, Toastmasters with experience. I can tell people who enjoy what they're doing. My role as a general evaluator is almost done, but as promised, the general evaluation of few things that have not been evaluated today. And I'm going to concentrate just on 3 people. Well, if anybody's missing me or want more feedback, please put a little note in the chat and I will do it for you personally. I would say one of the important people for this evening is Sergeant at Arms. Yes, that's me. Sergeant at Arms, I would like to congratulate online presenters for having such a bubbly and joyful guy starting your meeting. Isn't he an asset to the club? I have nothing to add. I have really nothing to suggest that he could do any better. Perhaps £20 gift voucher from Amazon would really help him to do better. Moving on to our Toastmaster of the day, Miriam. What a power, what a on-time leadership skills, communicated well prior to the meeting with all the participants. Then she started meeting in time with great enthusiasm, energy, and great punctuality. Timekeeping skills, excellent. The only thing I would recommend, perhaps at the outset of the meeting, take a little bit more time to enjoy and explain the theme of the meeting. Is gratitude, being grateful, tell a little story. Think in that way we all could be more engaged and really looking forward to it. Overall, powerful leadership skills. Yeah, well, let's do it sometime again, Mariam. And the third person I would like to talk is Asil, our table topics master. What a well-prepared throughout and really, really powerful, engaging, interesting table topics questions. Personally, what I really like in Asil's style that she asks many guests to take part in table topics. Remember me being a guest at the first brick and mortar meeting? I was petrified. I just wanted to hide away, didn't want to say anything. But we are advanced club and our guests have a really good say. And Asil let not only members and the guests to take part in table topics. Excellent, Asil, for that. At the same time, again, I would like to see more stress, more emphasis on the theme of the evening. Gratitude, being grateful, being thankful, perhaps playing with that word would give our club even better stance. If anybody else wants a feedback from me, I know one person is Sergeant at Arms, but I'm gonna have a chat with him later. That's it from me. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Andre. Thank you for that. Thank you very much, Marianne, Andre, Asil, Table Topic Master, and all the people who spoke or took part in all the functionality. Thank you. I just got a couple of people to call up. Elaine, would you like 30 seconds to talk about the newsletter?
I'm so excited that you called on me, Nick. When you open up your email tomorrow morning, or if you just go to the website of op.toastmasters.org, click on the blog link, there's a newsletter thing, and issue 2 is showing up. It's a great celebration of our membership, and it features additional repeat information all about VTM.com and this grand event. So we want to get you excited. Visit it, share the things, and we're so glad that you're guest visiting at our club or a member. Woohoo!
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you. I just want to take one guest in, and then I'm going to close the meeting, and then I'll talk to the other guests afterwards. So, Carolyn Slade, can you hear me? Would you like to unmute yourself? Hi, Carolyn.
Yes.
Hi, welcome. And just tell me one thing you're going to remember or take away from this meeting today.
Well, I hate to feel selfish, but I am just kind of overcome and overwhelmed with the speech that my sister gave. And I really enjoyed the whole session, but my heart is full tonight. I'm telling you.
Oh,
She is a wonderful sister though, and she deserves all the push that I give her. And I appreciate the opportunity that you gave, that was given to her tonight to be able to do this.
thank you, Carolyn. Thank you for joining us. And we're so glad you came, and we're so glad that Angela gave us that wonderful speech today. Thank you both. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
I'd just like to say, in terms of signing up for the normal roles, speeches, you know the spiel. We're an advanced club. We should be able to do this. It gives me great pleasure to close this meeting, and I will talk to guests afterwards. So if I'm going to